Okay, so if you're thinking of getting the MX Keys Mini right now, just give me a few minutes because I think that you should seriously consider this Keychron B1 Pro keyboard as well. I say this because the typing experience on this keyboard is actually very similar to the MX Keys Mini while being more affordable, more portable, and more customizable at the same time. And not only that, if you're a Mac user, there's one design difference on this keyboard that I think will make you love it even more than the MX Keys Mini. So without further delay, let's talk about the first aspect, which is the typing experience. The typing experience on the Keychron B1 Pro is actually 80 to 90% similar to the MX Keys Mini. The keys on the Keychron B1 Pro has concave indentations on their surface, which is the same as the MX Keys Mini. Logitech claimed that this design helps to increase the awareness of finger placement and also help to improve typing accuracy, although I didn't really observe any significant improvement in my own typing accuracy with either of these keyboards. The amount of travel on the Keychron B1 Pro is slightly lesser than the MX Keys Mini, but I also feel like the keys feel lighter to press on, which is what I personally prefer because I'm used to the light actuating force on my mechanical keyboards. The keys on the Keychron B1 Pro is slightly smaller than the MX Keys Mini, but it's still spacious enough for my fingers to type on it comfortably for hours and hours, such as typing on my YouTube script or doing programming or doing video editing. I could easily hit more than 100 words per minute with above 95% accuracy on the first day of using this keyboard. I think Keychron made the key sizes a little smaller in order to fit full-sized function row keys at the top row, which is similar to the MacBook keyboards. But if you look at the MX Keys Mini, it has smaller function row keys at the top. Although the spacebar on the Keychron B1 Pro is slightly longer than the spacebar on the MacBook keyboard and the MX Keys Mini, it is still relatively easy for my thumb to reach the command key. So I have to say that I'm very impressed with how similar the typing experience on this keyboard is compared to the MX Keys Mini, even though this one only costs about 1/3 the price of the MX Keys Mini. Next up, typing sound. I'll let you listen to the typing sound of the Keychron B1 Pro as well as the MX Keys Mini so that you can hear the difference for yourself. I think that the Keychron B1 Pro is slightly quieter than the MX Keys Mini, and it kind of gives off less of that clacky and clicky sound to it, which can be a little bit annoying in a really quiet environment. So I think that this one will be better suited for quieter environments like in the library or in cafes. Next up, let's talk about portability. The length and width of the Keychron B1 Pro is practically the same as the MX Keys Mini, but the Keychron B1 Pro is a fair bit lighter than the MX Keys Mini and also twice as slim in terms of thickness. The angle of inclination is also flatter on the Keychron B1 Pro, which is generally better for ergonomics. And because the Keychron B1 Pro is just slimmer overall, it slides more easily into the laptop sleeve of my bag compared to the MX Keys Mini. It also takes up less space when placed in a 6-liter sling bag if you're thinking of bringing this keyboard out to be used with a tablet like an iPad for example. And that is why I think that for less money, you are getting a lighter and less bulky keyboard that makes it a better choice to bring it around with you. Next up, let's talk about media keys. As a MacBook user who has owned more than 5 Logitech keyboards, I find one thing that is kind of annoying with Logitech keyboards is the fact that the media key arrangement is very different from the ones on my MacBook. You can see that on the MX Keys Mini, the first 3 function row keys are already occupied by the connectivity keys, so this reduces the number of available keys in the function row, and there is no way to remap the connectivity keys to other keys or another position, even if you were to use the Logi Options app. From the F4 key onwards, none of the other default media keys are in the same arrangement as the Mac keyboard. Whereas if you were to look at the media key arrangement on the Keychron B1 Pro, it is much more similar to the Mac keyboard, and this is why I say in the beginning that you'll love this keyboard even more if you're a Mac user, because the similarity of the media key placement just makes it a lot easier to get used to this keyboard, especially if you're someone who uses the media key a lot like myself. Next up, connectivity. This Keychron B1 Pro has tri-mode connectivity, which means that it supports wired connection, Bluetooth connection, or 2.4 GHz connection using the included dongle in the box. The wired and 2.4 GHz connection gives you 1000 Hz of polling rate, which is good if you want to do some light gaming on this keyboard as well. In contrast, the MX Keys Mini and a lot of the newer Logitech keyboards all do not come with this dongle, and it is a separate purchase. So you are technically getting more value out of this Keychron B1 Pro. Not only that, the MX Keys Mini doesn't even support wired connection, which seems pretty odd to me, whereas this Keychron B1 Pro does. As for the Bluetooth connection, it is similar to most Logitech keyboards in the sense that this one also has 3 Bluetooth profiles and it allows rapid switching between different devices. And instead of sacrificing the media keys for Bluetooth pairing, it uses the 1, 2, and 3 number keys instead. You just need to hold the function button and one of the number keys in order to switch between profiles. I personally prefer this method because, as I mentioned just now, this prevents you from sacrificing 3 of your media keys in the function row. Next up, the software. The Keychron B1 Pro is supported by the Keychron Launcher software, which uses ZMK under the hood. This is basically a more power efficient version of QMK. It lets you remap every single key on this Keychron B1 Pro, and it also lets you create a virtual layer so that you can get even more custom key binding options when you hold down the function key. In contrast, the Logi Options app only lets you remap the function row keys, excluding the F1 to F3 connectivity keys. This is very limited in terms of customizations for the MX Keys Mini, and that is why I think that if you're someone who likes to customize your key bindings a lot, the Keychron B1 Pro will be a better option. Now, as much as I love the value that you can get out of this Keychron B1 Pro keyboard, no keyboard is perfect, and it is my job as a reviewer to give you a balanced perspective. So here are some downsides to this keyboard to think about before you purchase one. The first one is build quality. This Keychron B1 Pro uses stickers for the key characters instead of laser-etched ones found on the MX Keys Mini. Also, the MX Keys Mini uses aluminium for its casing, which does give it more of that premium feel, whereas the Keychron B1 Pro uses mostly just plastic for the casing, at least as far as I can tell. All these material choices are obviously to cut costs in order to keep the price on the Keychron B1 Pro down. Secondly, unlike Logitech keyboards, the Keychron B1 Pro doesn't automatically detect the operating system that your computer or your laptop has. You will need to manually toggle between Windows and Mac using the switch at the top of the keyboard, but this is just a minor inconvenience in my opinion. Another thing is that this Keychron B1 Pro doesn't come with backlights, unlike the Logitech MX Keys Mini, but that's to be expected given that this one is only about 55 Singapore dollars. A lot of other Logitech keyboards in this price range also do not feature backlights. The fourth thing is that the modifier keys on the MX Keys Mini matches the Mac keyboard better because it has 4 modifier keys on the left side, whereas the Keychron B1 Pro only has 3. The reason for that is because it shifted the function key to the right side and replaced the option key beside the arrow keys. Lastly, although the Keychron B1 Pro comes with a 2.4 GHz dongle, there's no slots on this keyboard to keep it away, so this means that you need to be more careful not to misplace the dongle when it is not in use. So overall, I think that the Keychron B1 Pro has incredible value while being priced very reasonably. If you watched my previous videos before, I used to recommend the Pebble K380S from Logitech, and I recommend that as the best budget option for students or someone who need a secondary keyboard. But I realized that not everyone can accept the circular keys on that keyboard, so I think that from now on I will start recommending this Keychron B1 Pro instead because it has the best value and the typing experience is just so similar to the MX Keys Mini, which is a lot more expensive. But if you're someone who games as well and you want your portable keyboard to also have those specific gaming features, I'll recommend you to check out my review of the new Razer Joro keyboards right over here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.